Jacob had married Laban's daughters, Leah and Rachel, and he loved them very much. But over time, Jacob began to notice that Laban was not treating him fairly. Laban would change Jacob's wages again and again, and Jacob felt it was time to return home to his own family. One night, God spoke to Jacob in a dream. He said, "It's time to go back to the land of your family and to your father. I will be with you." Jacob felt encouraged by God's words, and he decided it was time to leave. Jacob called Leah and Rachel to the field where he was tending the sheep. He said, "I have to tell you something important. I believe God wants us to go back to our homeland." The sisters listened closely as Jacob explained how Laban had been treating him unfairly and how God had spoken to him. Leah and Rachel agreed. "We want to go with you. Our father has not treated us well either. It's time to leave." They packed their belongings and gathered their children, ready for the journey ahead. But Jacob knew he had to leave carefully. He didn't want Laban to find out until they were far away. So, under the cover of night, Jacob and his family left Laban's house. They took their herds, their tents, and everything they owned, and they set off toward their homeland. 3 days later, Laban discovered that Jacob had left. He was very angry and chased after Jacob with his men, but God had a plan to protect Jacob. One night, God spoke to Laban in a dream and said, "Be careful not to say anything good or bad to Jacob." When Laban finally caught up with Jacob, he was ready to confront him. But God had already warned him, so he spoke carefully. "Why did you run away without saying goodbye? You could have let me send you off with a celebration," Laban said. Jacob explained, "I was afraid you would not let us go. You have changed my wages many times." Laban understood and realized that Jacob had been treated unfairly. After a long conversation, Laban and Jacob made a peace treaty. They set up a pile of stones to remind them of their agreement, and they both promised to treat each other with kindness. Finally, Jacob and his family continued their journey back home, filled with hope and excitement. As they traveled, they knew that God was with them every step of the way. And so, Jacob's story teaches us about trusting God, standing up for what is right, and the importance of family. Jacob was brave, and he learned that with God's guidance, he could face any challenge that came his way.